Here we go, and we're live.
Hi guys.
Hi, everybody. I know it's been a minute since you've heard from us. It's a lot has happened in the past few weeks. Really, I think it's been a little over a month
Oh yes, yes.
since we recorded. So
Yeah.
yes, Lydia was doing a lot of international traveling. I moved across country to the East Coast. So that's kind of been what's going on with the two of us, why we haven't been able to record, but hopefully we're back and can get on a back to like a regular schedule. So I'm sharing in the Facebook group now.
Okay.
Okay, that's done. So I just shared to our Facebook group the live stream.
Okay.
So hopefully we can get some of our viewers on from over there. But yeah, sorry we're a little late tonight, guys. We had a couple technical difficulties. We recorded on YouTube last time, and I was used to the system we were using be live, and I couldn't remember how we did it last time where I could add a participant. So I couldn't get me and Lydia on at the
Mhm.
same time. So that's why we're running a bit late. So sorry about that, but we'll still can be done around 8 o'clock. Nothing really heavy tonight. It's just kind of a catch up show, just to kind of let you guys know what we've been up to
Mhm.
and what we've been doing and kind of what our hopes are moving forward. So,
Mhm.
yeah, for me, I've relocated temporarily. I'm only going to be out here about 6 months, but I'm working with a friend of mine in New Jersey with his food business. And then while I'm out here, I lived on the East Coast for 8 years. Well, 10 years really between Maryland and Delaware. So I've just kind of been catching up with like old friends and acquaintances and a few relatives that I still have out this way. So
Hi, Kate.
I got here around November 10th, and yeah, I've been here ever since, just trying to kind of get settled. And um I'm staying in Delaware, but I'm working in New Jersey, so I'm going to New Jersey like every day. It's not far; it's like 30-minute drive, but just kind of been dealing with that. So it's just been kind of hard to kind of get back into the swing of recording and all of that good stuff. I'm honestly just not really feeling it right now, but I'm hoping that forcing myself to do the show will help me get back into the swing of things. So that's all that I've been up to, really. Just that, working on the business with him, working on my own online business still, because there's some things that some goals and everything I wanted to hit before the end of the year. And then it's also an online event I decided that I'm going to do in the middle of January. So I've been working towards that. So that's kind of what's been up with me. And I haven't really been reading or practicing the course really. I'm just kind of not really resonating it with it right now. That's how kind of how it goes for me. It's like ebbs and flows. I come to it, I step away. I come to it, I step away, and this would probably be one of my step away times because I'm just not mentally there.
Mhm.
So, but trying to get back in the swing of things. So, you want to update them on everything you've been up to?
Yeah. So guys, I traveled for um almost like 2 weeks, I think. And I went to the Philippines, I went to Hong Kong, and I went to Macau. And that was the first time that I've traveled overseas to a non-U.S. state or territory, or yeah, traveling overseas. So it was really a great experience. Like I was, halfway across the world, far away from home, but I ended up going with a great person, one of my dear friends. And, it was just like a wonderful experience to be able to, and I was so happy to be able to share it with her. And I just had the time of my life, really. And I got to be immersed in a culture that is so different from mine in a lot of ways. But in a lot of ways, it's the same. People are the same wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, and one of the things that we did there, we created a GoFundMe to help some of the children in need in one of the provinces in the Philippines. And we got the chance to bring them like clothes and vitamins and toothbrushes. We brought Neosporin. We brought books, candy. We had like a dance contest where we gave, a little bit of money to like the best dancer. So it was really fun. And I ended up coming back around Thanksgiving. And since then, I just started working with someone who's starting up as a business consultant to help me like increase my knowledge about business and my business skills, and to help me like come up with ideas to expand my astrology practice. And yeah, so there's that. And then I've been actively working on perfecting my techniques there as far as with my astrology. So I've been immersed in that. And then I've always wanted to learn how to meditate, right? Like I read in so many different I've always been interested in different spiritual practices, and I've read about them and I've heard other people speaking about them, but you know, it's one thing to hear someone else speak about it, but it's a totally like you don't really know until you have an experience, right? Until you
Right.
experience it for yourself. Learning, reading can only do so much. We have to put it in practice. We have to do the work. So my friend told me about something called the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. And it's a type of meditation that started in the 30s in India. And it's really like a spiritual, a school of meditation. And they're all over the world. They have centers in like almost every state that I've checked. They have them in New York, and then they have one in Michigan. So when I go back home from Christmas, I'm going to be going to the one in Farmington Hills as well. It's totally free. They have different classes at different times of the day. You can come in at any time of the day to meditate. They have different meditation teachers there that you can work with like personally or like in small groups. If you decide to journey further into your meditation experience. So I ended up going to like a 2-part, like over the past 2 weeks, I ended up going to like a 2-part meditation class. And it really helped me. It was instructed by a woman named Sister Rona. And I remember she described it as putting the king back on the throne. That's what Brahma Kumaris meditation is, putting the king, the real you, back onto his throne, because we identify, like they explained it as us having, and it's similar to A Course in Miracles, because a lot of this stuff is like the same truth, but there are different ways of getting at it, right? And so most of us don't have totally forgotten about the king. We don't even know about the king. We're totally distracted by what's going on in the outside world, what is outside of us. And we absolutely forget about the presence, the powerful presence within us. I know I have. Like I've always, gotten distracted by, thoughts going on in my head, these silly thoughts. It's amazing, like when you sit and watch your thoughts, how just out of control they can get and how irreverent they are. And yeah, so it helps to get you in touch with that king within. It helps to identify that king and put him back on the throne. And so she said that two there are two worlds that we're a part of. There's the outer world, the world of the body, and the world of form, which always changes. But there's also an inner world, a world of that influences this is the world that influences our thoughts, and that is related to our thoughts and our emotions. And so the meditation, like she helped me to, in the class too, to get in touch with, she taught me how to ease myself into a meditative state. And not saying, I'm some, enlightened master here. But I was able to get further with meditation than I ever have, really. And there was a moment, there were moments, it lasted a few minutes, but where I was able to feel that stillness, and I was able to understand how whole and complete it was and how safe it was from the rest of the world. In A Course in Miracles, they talk about the self that God created that needs nothing. And in Brahma Kumaris, Sister Rona was explaining it as, there's the spirit, which is who we really are, which is the divine child of God. And the body is a vehicle that we are a guest in. But the spirit that we are is whole. And everything else, the body, our titles and whatever else we do out in the world, all the other people we see and communicate with, that's all extra. But the self that God created, that divine child of God, that is so beyond the conception, my conception of who I am, like the story of Lydia. It's always there, and it's eternal, and it's whole within itself, and it's like A Course in Miracles says again, a self that needs nothing, the self that God created that needs nothing. And so, like, after that experience, when I was able for just a little bit to get in touch and understand, like, the truth of it, like when I went back out into the world, I did like it. I felt myself falling off that throne, and getting involved in the world. But I could see how silly it was, and I realized that, there is a part of me now. I do know there is a part of me that's eternal and that can never be touched by anything in this world. Like it's whole, it's complete. And yet I'm still like going out to the world thinking, I've fallen back into little me. I still fall back into little me, going out into the world, being like a child distracted by the world. And it reminds me of that story of the prodigal son in the Bible, where there was a man, and he had two sons, and they had everything they could ever ask for. And one of the sons took his inheritance and left, thinking that the grass was greener on the other side, and then he could find himself out there in the world. And what ended up happening is he squandered his fortune away, and he ended up destitute. And he decided you know, he said even his father's servants lived better than he was living. So he wanted to go back to his father and sort of bargain his way into maybe being a servant in his father's household. But what happened when he went back home is that his father was so overjoyed to see him and accepted him back as his son as if nothing had ever changed. And it hit me that, that's the plight most human beings are in. We're always seeking, things outside of ourselves, including the body. And what we are is really so far beyond that. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know if I could read a couple of paragraphs from chapter 29, one of my favorite parts of A Course in Miracles. Page 617. This is the Seek Not Outside Yourself chapter. And, the meditation and that experience reminded me so much of of this part. But I'm only going to read the first two paragraphs. And it's chapter 29 of the text and chapter 29 of the text, part 7. I think that's how that part 7. Yeah. Seek not outside yourself. And I just want to read the first two paragraphs. So seek not outside yourself, for it will fail, and you will weep each time an idol falls. Heaven cannot be found where it is not, and there can be no peace excepting there. Each idol that you worship when God calls will never answer in his place. There is no other answer you can substitute and find the happiness his answer brings. Seek not outside yourself, for all your pain comes simply from a futile search for what you want, insisting where it must be found. What if it is not there? Do you prefer that you be right or happy? Be you glad that you are told where happiness abides, and seek no longer elsewhere. You will fail, but it is given you to know the truth and not to seek for it outside yourself. No one who comes here but must still have hope, some lingering illusion, or some dream that there is something outside of himself that will bring happiness and peace to him. If everything is in him, this cannot be so. And therefore, by his coming, he denies the truth about himself and seeks for something more than everything, as if a part of it were separated off and found where all the rest of it is not. This is the purpose he bestows upon the body, that it seek for what he lacks and give him what would make himself complete. And thus he wanders aimlessly about in search of something that he cannot find, believing that he is what he is not. And I'm just going to leave it there. But seek not outside yourself. Like after the meditation experience, I really, I'd fallen off my throne, but I was able to recognize, nothing here, like you get it. You think I need this. Then you get it. And after a moment, it doesn't satisfy you anymore. You're on to something else. So, yeah.
I love that chapter. And of course, it's one of my favorites. The Brahma meditation you're talking about, I don't think I've ever heard of that one, which is interesting because I usually try to read up on everything. Years ago when I was trying to become better at meditating, I thought I couldn't meditate. I went and did the TM one, the Transcendental Meditation. And I mean, it wasn't free, but they gave me a significant discount because I was a student at the time. And that was very helpful. And that's when they just give you a mantra and they teach you how to do the 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. What I realized about meditation back then when I was learning with them is that I was just overthinking it all those years.
Mhm.
And I would read about it and study it and this and that. But I was overthinking how to do it. Like it had to be some perfect zenful, kind of thing. And it didn't have to be that at all. You just start from where you are, and you just, for me, keep coming back to the mantra is like how I stay focused. Even when my thoughts start to wander, I don't, acknowledge them, and I just bring it back to the mantra. I don't, beat
Mhm.
myself up or anything. But um, we'll post the links to the information that Lydia was talking about, because maybe if any of you guys are interested in learning about it, you may be able to find, they might have something in your area where you could go learn it. I doubt I can find it while I'm here in Delaware. They don't even have a Unity church. Back home, I go to a Unity church, guys. So when I was like, well, I'm coming out here for a few months, let me see if I can find a Unity church. No, not in the whole state. So I've been watching the live stream of my church back home, Detroit Unity. So,
Mhm.
which is fine because when I am home, I watch the live stream anyway because I'm too lazy to get up and go out. But yeah, post their website or their information, like the correct spelling of their name, and the links in the on the
Oh
YouTube page,
yeah.
and in the Facebook group underneath the video, so that if anybody's interested in learning more about it, or seeing if they have a place where they can learn it in their area, they can find it.
Will do.
Was there anything else you wanted to talk about tonight?
Uh, that's it for now. I'm happy to be back.
That's good. I'm trying to get there. I'm not like unhappy to be back, but I was like, I literally have not. I did bring my course books with me, um,
Hmm.
but I have not opened them since I
Hmm.
got here. They're
I
still in the
hadn't been
bin.
reading on me. I hadn't been reading it either. Definitely not while I was traveling. But
And
uh,
I think with me, because I'm in the car so much back and
mhm.
forth, it's probably going to be best for me to download like the Kim Wapnick lectures and all of those things to my iPad so I can play them in the car.
Oh,
And that's going to be
oh
the best
yes.
way,
We're listening to Ken. Wow. He will get you right.
because I have a hard time finding time to read because I'm always on the go now.
Uh-huh.
So probably I need to do better. I have the audio book and things like that, and I just need to put it on my devices so that I can listen while
Hmm.
I'm working and while I'm traveling, and that will probably help kind of get me back in the swing of things.
His
'Cause-
lectures are so helpful, guys, and he keeps it 100% real about the ego and the world. He doesn't pull punches.
He doesn't. He is very, very straightforward,
Mm.
very blunt. I always appreciated that about him. May he rest in peace. But yeah, he's probably out of everyone, he's my all-time favorite teacher on the course.
Yeah.
He's one that kind of never swayed or diverged. Like his teachings were always very clear
Mhm.
and very course specific, and he never veered from
He
it at
never got
all.
sidetracked by the ego.
Never. He always seemed to be
He's
really,
a purist.
yes. And I know I'm not. So I need somebody like that to help keep me focused, cuz
No.
that's part of what my problem is now. I've been thinking about all these other things that are going on. So it's like, when I was like, oh, we got this course show coming up. I haven't even read any material. I haven't been studying it. I haven't been doing the lessons. I don't even really want to do it. But you just remind yourself nothing you see matters. It's all an illusion anyway. That's the only way that you're gonna ascend up out of this BS. And but even that wasn't enough to get me to
Why you
feel
will be off the throne. You will remain.
yes, always. And even tonight, like then I was getting frustrated because I got on about 6:45, which would have gave me 15 minutes before the show to get everything set up so that we
Mhm.
could just start broadcasting right at 7. And then I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know why it wouldn't work. I couldn't find the link to invite her. It was just all this stuff. So that was just making me even more irritated because I'm like, we this is how we recorded it last time. Why is it not working this time? So yeah, I'll get myself together before next week, guys. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about that because I will be in Annapolis next week. And I don't know if I'll be back in time to do the show at 7.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll either have to do a little bit later or pick another day.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it and then we'll
Yeah.
let you guys know in the group. Um, but yeah, it might have to be a little later, like 8 or 8:30.
Mm.
I'll try to get back, but it's like an hour and a half drive for me, and I'm not sure what time I'm leaving down there to head back home. So we'll play it by ear and see. As far as that goes, just want to talk briefly about the rest of the year. We're still going to reach out to schedule some other course teachers and everything to interview and do the show with us. Um, look out for those interviews after the first of the year. We'll start having some other guests on, and then we do still want to start the lessons starting from lesson 1 January 1st. So if any of you guys are interested in doing that with us, just stay tuned because we'll just kind of do a recap, I think, on our weekly show of like the lessons of that week. Maybe if any were stood out in particular for us, or if we had any particular experience with one, or any hard times with one. We'll talk about that. Also, oh, I know Lydia's excited about Christmas coming because she likes the Christmas the one in the course, and she's looking forward to that show to talk about that week.
Uh-huh. Yep, there's
Yeah.
a Christmas lesson, guys.
Hmm. And she's really excited about that one. So, yeah, but that's kind of all that we've been up to and then what we've got coming up. So, again, thank you for your patience with us. I know tonight was a shorter show because I couldn't get it together before 7:30. But um but it's good. We just really wanted this to be a catch-up show anyway to just kind of
Mhm.
let you guys know what we've been up to and what we plan to do with the show moving forward.
Mhm.
So, okay. Well, I didn't have anything else. If you didn't have anything else, I guess we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see ya.
Bye, guys. Have a great week.